Hello friends. Today, we are diving in the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Imagine for a moment that you are invisible. You can walk through any boardroom, any palace, any social gathering, and you can see the game that is really being played. You see the smiles that hide daggers. You see the compliments that are really manipulations. You see the powerful, and you see the reason they are about to fall. Most people spend their lives as pawns in this game. They react, they get emotional, they are used. But what if you could see the strings? What if you could learn the unwritten rules that have governed power for the last 500 years? Robert Greene's masterpiece, The 48 Laws of Power, distills 3,000 years of history into a brutal, beautiful, and ruthless playbook. Today, we are not just going to summarize these laws, we are going to feel them. We are going to walk through the stories of those who mastered them and those who were crushed by ignoring them. This is the truth about power. And by the end of this video, you will never look at human interaction the same way again. Today, we will understand the most important laws from this book and divide that into chapters. Chapter 1. The Law of Sunlight. Let's start with the biggest mistake people make, that is seeking attention. There is a powerful psychological truth you must understand. Humans are naturally drawn to the brilliant, the shiny, the bright, but they also instinctively resent it. If you walk into a room and try to prove you are the smartest person there, you are not building power, you are building enemies. Think about the story of Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister of France, under King Louis XIV. Fouquet was a man of immense wealth and taste. To celebrate the completion of his stunning new chateau, Vaux-le-Vicomte, he threw the most extravagant party France had ever seen. There was a 7-course meal, a play written by Molière, and spectacular fireworks. Every guest was dazzled, and at the center of it all was Fouquet, the brilliant host. So what is the problem? The guest of honor was King Louis XIV. Fouquet tried to show the king how powerful he was. He tried to impress him. He didn't realize that by shining so brightly, he was casting a shadow on the Sun King himself. The next day, Fouquet was arrested by the captain of the Musketeers, a man named D'Artagnan. He spent the rest of his life in a solitary prison cell, forgotten by the world. What is the lesson? That we understand in Law 6, that is, court attention at all cost, but Law 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. Do not be the peacock, be the still water, be scarce. When you are always available, you are no longer valuable. By withdrawing and creating mystery, you force people to come to you. Your absence creates a vacuum of power that they will fill with curiosity and respect. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Reality. Now let's talk about your biggest weakness, your emotions. If there is one thing the powerful know, it is that emotion is the enemy of control. Anger, love, hate, these are fogs that cloud your judgment. Law 2 is the foundation. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Why? Because friends expect favors. Friends feel entitled. They often grow envious of your success because they remember you from before. An enemy, however, has everything to prove. A former enemy, someone you have brought into the fold, will work twice as hard to stay there because they know exactly what the alternative looks like. This leads us to the most powerful tool in your arsenal, Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Imagine you are in the court of a king. You cannot yell, you cannot threaten, you cannot storm out. If you are angry, you must smile. If you are insulted, you must compliment. The perfect courtier is the ultimate mirror. They reflect the best image back at the king. They make the king feel smarter, funnier, and more powerful. In the modern world, your king is your boss, your clients the public. Never sell them the truth of how you feel. Sell them the truth of how they want to feel. When you master your own emotions, you become a blank slate. And on that blank slate, other people project their own desires. That is when you have power over them. Chapter 3. The Art of Concealment. This brings us to a critical skill: deception. But don't think of deception as lying. Think of it as strategy. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance. Never show them your cards. If they don't know what you want, they cannot prepare a defense against you. If you are planning a bold move, act confused. Act disinterested. Lull them into a sense of security. There is a story of the artist Andy Warhol. He mastered this. He would go to parties and say almost nothing. He would let other people fill the silence, revealing their own ambitions and insecurities. He used the power of silence to make himself appear deep and mysterious. This is supported by Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Once in a while, you must be open. A single act of honesty, a single generous gesture, erases all suspicion. It's the ultimate smokescreen. If you are known as brutally honest about small things, people will never suspect you of hiding the big things. And finally, Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit. We need to predict behavior to feel safe. If you are unpredictable, if you're sometimes generous and sometimes stern, people around you will become anxious. They will watch you closely. They will try to please you just to stabilize the environment. You become the center of their universe. Chapter 4. The Weapons of Influence. So, you are calm, mysterious, and unpredictable. How do you actually move people to action? Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. It is the shadow you cast before you enter the room. If your reputation is stained, you are vulnerable to attack from anyone. But there is a darker, more aggressive side to this. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. The truth is often too harsh, too complicated. People don't want reality. They want the fantasy of reality. Think of the great leaders and seducers. They never sold a product. They sold a dream. They sold a vision of a better life. They wrapped their ambition in the language of hope. If you want to influence the masses, never appeal to logic. Appeal to emotion. Appeal to their secret desires. Create a fantasy so compelling that they will follow you anywhere to achieve it, even if that fantasy is just an illusion. Chapter 5. The enemy within now. A warning. There are dangers on the path to power. The greatest danger is not your enemy. It is yourself. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. You cannot win an argument. Even if you crush someone with logic, you have wounded their pride. They will resent you. They will wait for revenge. True power is demonstrated, not debated. Show them you are right by achieving results. Let your success be the only argument you need. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. There is a psychological law. Misery loves company. The unhappy person will try to drag you down to their level. They will infect you with their victimhood. Recognize these toxic people immediately and cut them out. Associate only with those who are positive, successful, and forward-moving. And perhaps the most tragic mistake of all is Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. If you doubt yourself, the world will doubt you. If you apologize for your ambition, the world will tell you to sit down. Carry yourself with dignity. Set high standards for yourself. How you carry yourself dictates how others treat you. Chapter 6. The Strategies of Dominance. Let's look at the offensive plays, the moves you make to secure your position. Law 15, crush your enemy totally. This is one of the hardest laws to hear, but one of the most important. You cannot wound a powerful enemy and let them walk away. A wounded snake strikes back. If you have to make a move, make it decisive. Leave them no room to recover, no room for revenge. Complete victory is the only kind that lasts. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Sometimes you are the weaker party. In that moment, do not fight. Surrender. But surrender as a strategy. When you surrender, you lower your enemy's guard. They think you are broken. You are not. You are waiting. You are watching for their moment of arrogance. Use that time to learn their weaknesses. And when they slip, you strike. This is the art of the patient predator. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Every person has a weakness, a secret insecurity, a hidden desire. Find that one button. It is their thumbscrew, the lever that, when pressed, gives you control over them. It takes patience to find it, but once you do, you have a key to their soul. Chapter 7. The structure of power. How do you build something that lasts? Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make your superiors feel comfortably superior. If you try to outshine them, you threaten their position. Let your brilliance show, but always let them take the credit. Let them feel like it was their idea. A master who feels secure is a master who will promote you. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to self-interest, never to mercy or gratitude. Never remind someone of the past favors you've done for them. They don't care. Don't beg for mercy. Instead, show them what's in it for them. If you help me with this, you will get that. Appeal to their greed, their ambition. That is the only language they understand. And finally, to protect your creation, you must master Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Mistrusting people, hiding away from them, builds walls that also trap you. You need to be in the mix. You need information. Instead of a fortress, build bridges, mingle with people, but keep your inner thoughts locked away. Be social, but be silent. Chapter 8. The final lesson and conclusion. There is one last law, the most misunderstood of them all. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Life is not solid. The world is changing always. The oak tree is strong, but when the hurricane comes, the oak tree snaps, the grass bends, the grass survives. Do not be the oak tree. Do not be rigid in your thinking. Do not be stuck in one identity. Be fluid, be adaptable, be formless. If the environment demands aggression, be a lion. If the environment demands patience, be a fox. The ultimate power is not about holding on tight. It is about flowing like water around the obstacle. Water always reaches the sea, always. Power is a game. Most people don't even know they are playing it, but now you see the board. You know that attention must be courted, not demanded. You know that your emotions are a shield to be lowered only in private. You know that reputation is your currency and unpredictability is your armor. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power is not a book to be read once and placed on a shelf. It is a mirror. It reflects the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Study these laws, practice them, but remember the greatest power of all is the power over yourself. If you enjoyed this journey through the shadows of human nature, if you want to go deeper into the mind of strategy and mastery, then hit that subscribe button right now. Join us and never be a pawn again. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.